I have a very broad range of clients, everything from the janitor and cleaning lady to the CEO. But my expectation is that every patient is a VIP and is high-end and deserves the very best of care. I also understand that hair removal is a very popular treatment that's offered widely across a whole spectrum of med spas and other offices that are not necessarily specializing in aesthetics and skincare. And there's also groups like Groupon that come and try to compete in this market and really lower the price. I have found that it's very helpful to not compete with them. If you offer the best service and the best laser, your patients will not only come, but they will also send in their friends. So the idea is that you want to have the very best treatment available, offer it in a way that gives extra value so the patients will enjoy the experience, have great results, and want to come back. When you have a laser like the LightSheer Duet, you can treat a large area in a very short amount of time. So it can take me literally 10 to 15 minutes to treat a whole back or a whole set of legs. And that's the amount of time it may take others with different lasers to treat just the upper lip or bikini area. So I have a great advantage in this way. I have a gold standard laser that without gel, without mess, and virtually painlessly can treat very large areas in a very short amount of time. The pain scale with the LightSheer Duet goes from a pain of 10 with the regular lasers, 8 to 10, down to literally a 1 to 2 with the LightSheer Duet. I remember treating my daughter's underarms and she would cry during the treatment. It hurt so much, she didn't even want to do it. I had to talk her into doing the duet, and she sat there and I was finished. 3 zaps and the whole underarm was done, and she said, "That's it? You're done?" She barely even noticed I was there. And there was no gel, nothing to apply before, nothing to clean up after. So I'm not applying numbing medicine, having people sit there for half an hour or 45 minutes taking up space in my office. The procedure takes literally minutes, and the pain scale goes down from an 8 to 10 down to a 1 to 2. All lasers currently available are really ideal for those with darker hair and lighter skin. With the LightSheer Duet, I can go up to a skin type 4 very comfortably, but with any laser, I wouldn't go beyond a skin type 4 because you wouldn't be able to use enough energy to have real permanent results, and the risk of a burn does go up. So I find that the best people and the best options for laser hair removal, and especially with the LightSheer Duet, which I consider to be the gold standard diode laser, that you stick to skin types 1 through 4, make sure the hair is dark enough and that they don't have a suntan when they do the treatments. The hair should also be shaved short, not plucked, not waxed. It has to be present but short, and no suntan. There are parts of the body that do better with laser hair removal than others. The underarms, the bikini, and the lower legs tend to be the areas where we have the greatest success with this and with previous lasers that we've used. The face, I find, takes the highest number of treatments and can be the most likely area to recur sooner. When we do the legs, typically after their 6 to 8 treatments are done, they'll come back once every 2 years for a quick little touch-up for a few stragglers here and there, but the hair really stays clear for years. Most of the patients that come to my office have tried many other types of hair removal before deciding on laser for their hair removal method. And many of these patients will say that when they do waxing, they have ingrown hairs. Some have even said that they've had warts and molluscum occur in these areas after those treatments. The nice thing about the LightSheer Duet is that it has an inexpensive consumable tip. I think it's less than $10, around $8. And so each treatment is sterile. We're using heat to basically kill off the hair follicle, and there's nothing that we can transmit to the patient. So sterility is key in our practice. We make sure that the skin is healthy and intact and free of any wart virus or other infection before we do the treatment, and the patients have had really great results. We do have one room that we like to use for our laser hair removal, and that's kind of the room the laser lives in. But we also have 14 devices in a very small Manhattan office, and sometimes that room is being used for other things, and so the Duet has to be moved in order to make the most of our time. It's on wheels, it's light, it's hardy, it's easy to move. It plugs into a regular outlet, so every room can hold it without any trouble at all. and all our chairs are geared towards any procedure we do, so it's very comfortable to use in any room we need. The handset is actually very comfortable. Your hand can rest comfortably on it, and we kind of roll it along to release the tension because it works by suction to pull the skin up. Then you have the laser zap, and then it releases. So we just kind of slide along. You know exactly where you were before because there's a very slight imprint for a few seconds left behind, so you know where you were. I found that when I use this laser, I don't have the redness and the irritation that I've seen from other lasers that remain afterwards. You almost can't tell we were there, but the results are just as good or better. So the patient is much more comfortable, they have less downtime, they tolerate the treatments really well, and we can actually chat with them and use what we call talkesthesia to get them through those few areas where they might be a little bit more sensitive. For every new patient who comes in for laser hair removal, I do the initial evaluation, discuss the risks, the number of treatments, and how they should prepare for their treatments. That the area should be shaved, they should not have a suntan in the area, they shouldn't wax or pluck the hair in that area, and to make sure that the skin is intact and healthy and ideal for this kind of treatment. Also make sure the hair is of the right color and that they're the right skin type. So once that evaluation is done, I credential my medical esthetician to then do the treatments, and I build that level of trust between the patient and the medical esthetician. Now I know my medical esthetician, and she is brilliant. She loves doing laser hair removal, she pays attention to detail, and I trust her to do this, and I also test her. I watch as she does treatments, I know how she's been trained, and I helped train her. So I have that level of trust in her, and the patients absolutely love her. The other great thing is while I delegate to her and while she's doing the treatments, she also becomes friendly with the patients and talks about other procedures that I do. So she grows the practice for me as well. She talks products, she talks treatments, they talk about boys or whatever, but the conversation really grows in very important ways. The LightSheer Duet is a great practice builder for several reasons. One is the patient comes in on a regular basis, and while they're here, they're in the waiting room for a few minutes and they get a sense of the other things that we do in the office. So sometimes they'll add on a peel or some other procedures or treatments while they're here. Also, they enjoy the treatment so much and they see that they get great results, and that builds a level of trust in us, in our work, in our practice, and in the things that we recommend for them. And so that encourages them to come back and do other treatments with us as well.